Garcia. Friend or not. All right.
A break go to Uganda.
A Bray is going.
Man, you have an awesome audience. Though. They rock. They know.
Yeah. They're pretty excellent. Pretty excellent.
Yeah.
Call me SpongeBob because I'm ready.
Peacock.
Icon on the bottom left, I believe.
Yeah.
Hit it, and then once it shows your face on there, just hit the save button on the top right. There it is. There he is. There you go. All right. So, Mr. Flowers, I am Enoch. You know what my real name is. We spoke on the phone already. We already kind of went over how this goes. You listened to a live before. You know how unhinged and silly you can get. But for today, for today's show, we're gonna have you talk about the changes you want to make, the whole goal, and why you are where you are. And I mean, you don't have to show off all your awards and medals and stuff, man. We know you're very accomplished.
I'm sorry. I'm going to turn this way so nobody sees that crap. Nobody wants to see that.
No, we're good. I was just giving you shit.
You're sideways, Bernie.
Yeah, straight it out. There we go. Just keep it there. You're good.
Like prop it on like your laptop or something for us.
Yeah.
All right. There you go.
Prop it on your laptop. There we go.
As long as I got Tony here to keep me straight, man, I'm good. I'm good. So I'm going to fix this thing. And first of all, thank you for having me on your show. You guys, I've been listening to you. I listened to you on Sunday, and then I've been listening to you for about 30 minutes just a few minutes ago, and you guys had me laughing. I was really thinking that I was going to screw this up and not being able to do all the technical stuff and miss the opportunity, but we got it all fixed thanks to Tony. So absolutely awesome job.
Excellent. I'm happy you're here. I'm glad you're here to join us. So we have a bunch of questions that people had sent me because I kind of tasked my audience. Hey, do you have any questions? Let's hear what you got. And again, these aren't really any gotcha questions. They just want to know where you stand. And some of these people are your constituents that are in your area. So these do apply to you. Some of them are actually down there in the chat right now.
Well, that's fine. I appreciate it. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
And I'll just be honest with you.
So first off, Bernie, I'd like to hear, tell us about yourself. Tell us your history and again, how you got to where you are.
Well, I'm from backwoods, North Carolina. We talked about that on Sunday. I'm a country boy that is, I love the military. I grew up about 30 miles outside of Fort Bragg, tobacco country. And my dad idolized the military. And I think I kind of mentioned to you, my brother went in the Army. And I wanted to go in the Army, but it wasn't big enough for both of us. So I had to go in the Air Force. And so I went in, I stayed 21 years, saw some combat, saw some cool things. I'm really proud of the idea that I think I might have been the very first American soldier in the Ukraine in 2003 when I went over there. I'm not proud of what our government has done over there, and I'll explain that later. But the fact that I went when they asked me to go is always an honorable thing. So after that, worked at a bank for a little while. Then Cybercom called me up and said, hey, come on back home. Your clearance is good. Let's help start Cybercom. And I got a plaque up on the wall that says I'm a plank owner there. So I worked there until 2020. And when COVID happened, Northcom, who I was working for at the time, decided they wanted me to go over to DHS. And that's when the fight started. DHS, I saw corruption that you wouldn't believe. And I worked there for a little while. We were wasting money like crazy. I couldn't take it, and I decided, and oh, by the way, I didn't take the jab. And that was part of the decision calculus. And so 20 February of 2022, I gave up all my creds and resigned from my civilian job, government job, that I always wanted. And the next day I went over and applied to run for Congress. And so I ran. I was in what they call District 2. I live in District 3. I know that sounds confusing, but there was a guy who was the congressman at the time. I'm trying to think of his name, but nevertheless, he was a shyster, if you can believe that. And I got caught up in redistricting.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of it. So I live in what they call District 3, which is, Columbia, Maryland, Anne Arundel County and Howard County. But I was driving up to Carroll County, which is about 50 miles away, pretty much every night to give speeches. But the issue of the day is we've got ourselves a situation where patriots have to step up. And that's where I met Tony. He just told me, he said, look, I like what you're doing. How can I help? And I said, are you sure? And he said, I'm sure. I said, okay, here we go, brother. And so I didn't win that first election, but we really never stopped campaigning. And I'm not saying I'm okay. Yeah, let's just stop lying. I'm going to run. So
I mean, that's what you're here for. We want to get you some optics, some people to back you up, follow news about you at the very least, talk about what you're doing, and to humanize you for the audience, because people don't know you. They just think you're a fucking politician, right? Like, I'm going to speak frankly to you like I do speak it to everybody else. Nobody knows you for shit outside of your area. And this is a good way to get optics on you beyond that area. Even if it is at 50 people at a time for over an hour, which equals a couple thousand, it's going to give you some favorability.
Oh, definitely. I appreciate it, man. And like I said, you're a fellow soldier, so you understand where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I saw some stuff. I saw some stuff in Iraq, and I saw some stuff in Afghanistan that I didn't like. And I was going through all that just like you were, but I wasn't in a position to do anything about it. I was just trying to be a good soldier, good airman in my case. And it all kind of balled up together by the time I got to be he knew what he was doing, and now he's getting rid of a lot of the civilians. Now, to take that into account, when Obama was in office, he hired more civilians than any other president ever. So those people that came in at GS3s and 4s, now they're GS14s and 15s. And they are very loyal to the Democrat Party, and they all live around here, and that's why you can't get any purchase here in this area. But we fight the good fight. There's a cadre of conservatives here that won't back down. I happen to be one of them. And, Tony told me back in the summer, says, okay, who's going to run for Congress? And I'm like, well, I wonder who that is. And he says, well, you're the best available person. And I was like, man, they got to have somebody better than me. I've already done this twice. He said, Bernie, everybody knows you. And if you don't do this, we have no chance of winning. And so he and a few other people that we know have been like, dude, you got to get off your ass and get this done and soldier up. So that's what we're doing.
Where do you feel you belong on the political scale? How far right are you? How far left are you? In your opinion? Some of us here, like myself, I'm a little more moderate than most people. Some of us, especially down in the comments, we got some far right people, some right wing Christian nationalists. We got some libertarians. I mean, I told you we have all kinds of the whole lot here as far as demographic goes. Where do you think you would sit at?
I think that I'm a run-of-the-mill conservative. I am fiscally conservative. I'm not socially liberal because, you've probably seen some of the stuff I put out on Facebook. I'm not for all this Obama stuff and the gay stuff. I mean, if anybody's got a problem with that, do your thing, but don't put it on me. You know, I'm trying to raise a family here. I got kids and grandkids. I believe in the creator of the universe and I follow him. And I'm rather than me running around telling people what to do, like a lot of preachers do. I don't have anything against preachers, but I try to keep my religion to myself. But the issue of the day is you could tell a man who he is by his actions. And, you know, my actions all are about family, God, family, and country. And that's what we do here. And so we're fighting a good fight. I hope I answered that and I hope it makes some sense.
Well, let me tell you right now, I don't know. I hope you're not watching the comments. I don't want you to watch the comments, but I will tell you from what I'm seeing as you're talking, people are loving you. They're loving that you're a respectable, family-oriented individual. If I'm getting that right, guys, you know,
thank you.
You're not
Big,
falling into
ugly
the liberal
Air
bullshit.
Force guy.
People, yeah, guys are cheering you on right now. And yeah, guys, make sure you give them a follow. Make sure you back them up. Give them some visibility. Go out there, make videos for them and stuff. If you're liking so far, we're going to ask them a bunch more questions. We're going to harass them a little bit. We're going to crack jokes. I'm probably going to make fun of him at some point because he still has the Air Force Colonel haircut.
From my perspective, so I know Baltimore. I lived in Baltimore. I graduated high school in Baltimore. I don't know the districts. So what area is that? That is the district that you're running within?
District 3 is mostly Howard County, Anne Arundel County, all the way over to the water, and then just a little sliver of Carroll County. Now, mind you, when you were living here, they redistricted. This was one of the most gerrymandered districts in the entire country, and it was virtually impossible for a conservative to even have a chance to win. And they redistricted in 2022. And once they did that, it put the two counties together, and that gives us a chance to make a showing. Now, I'll tell you, the conservative, well, let me take that back. The rhinos do not like me at all. They don't like me. They've invested in, well, let me put it to you to this way. There's a 1%, and it goes from, you know, Republican to Democrat. These people want to keep making money. They want to keep taking advantage of the system. And I know the system, and I want to break the system and start all over again and give everybody a fair chance. If that makes any sense to you.
That does. That's I mean, that's the most simplified way to put it. And I think it answers a lot of questions very quickly.
If you allow me, I want to explain the voter demographics that we got in the district right now.
Go, brother.
So we are outnumbered 1.65 Democrats to 1 Republican in the district right now. If every registered voter would go ahead and vote, and let's say all the independents went ahead and voted Republican, we would just be losing by about 200,000 votes. And that right there is just basically the city of Columbia alone.
So it's a D plus what?
It's
D plus 10.
It's changed quite a bit over the last few years.
Changed. It's listed as D plus 12, but you know, I think Tony's stats are a lot better. And the reason
we're looking at D plus 6, D plus 8 then?
It's right now I believe it's actually like a D plus 6, D plus 5.
But here's the thing, who's doing the counting? That's another thing. I mean, our media is totally run by people.
Oh, Bernie, we're tracking. We're with you. We're all with you there. We trust none of the mainstream media. If it's not on a .gov site, we don't trust it. We come up with our own ideology here and what we think of.
There you go. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But go ahead, brother.
So one of the big questions we got here is about education, public education. Do you support education choice options?
Yes, the money should stay with the student and the parents. That's the problem we have with the NEA, the Teachers Association. They're a bunch of damn communists.
Tracksuit.
And if there's any teachers out there, I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. And Baltimore, which is not in my district, they spend $23,000 per student, and they have the worst outcomes arguably in the entire United States. But, you know, they're teaching a lot of things that the average mother and father wouldn't agree with. They're doing it right here. And we got to stand up, and that's what we're about. And our little cadre of Republicans or conservatives, even better, Tony, people like me and you, I mean, we got to fight this. We got to protect our children. That's what this whole thing is about. And we spend a gang load of money and we're not getting the results that we need. And most of the teachers union people, all they do is support Democrat politicians.
Awesome. Also, the next question, I guess, is pretty much answered already, but do you feel the public education is best handled at the federal, state, or local levels? And if so, why? I'm not pulling up tracksuit right now.
No. Well, here's the deal,
Chill.
brother. It's like the state knows what is needed in their particular state.
Like, vote blue. Nobody cares what you have to say here. Go home. Go ahead, Bernie. Good.
So the idea is that the state should have control. Oh, I'll give you a better example. Jimmy Carter started the Department of Education. And when he did, we were the #1 secondary school system in the entire world. We had people who wanted to come here just to send their kids to high school. Now, not so much. We're like number 20 and this, that, the other, some cases 40. Everybody's doing better than us. But the Department of Education, I'm so glad that President Trump has put an end to that because it hasn't served us well.
Amen. I mean, there's nothing else to add to that, right? There really isn't, guys. You guys have any questions up here? Ed, Common, Tony, do you want to highlight something?
If I can ask you a quick question, dealing with your just outstanding governor that you have there, who has decided to throw your state into. You can all do the eye roll all simultaneously, right? But who's decided that he wants to, potentially run for president, now wants to redistrict. How are you guys going to handle that?
I'm gonna throw as much shit at him as I can.
Wolfie.
Okay. Boom. If you go on any of my pages, you'll see me throwing stuff at him. If his mouth is moving, he's lying. And honestly, to tell you the truth, this guy is funded by BlackRock. This man, why does he have $50 million in the bank and he can't even pay his damn water bill? The issue of the day is these people are doing some things. They're globalists. They don't mean well for America. And I'm going to do everything I can to put a stop to it. Maybe nobody will listen. Maybe I'm some crazy old soldier or whatever you call it. But this guy is bad for America. And he is Obama 2.0. And we can't have another Obama.
Team one version.
Team Obama. Well, Hakeem Jeffries is definitely Team Obama.
I'm going to piggyback off that, Bernie. So with everything saying they want to redistrict and everything, they legally cannot with the lines that they have right now. Well, because they were actually sued by a former candidate in District 6, Neil Parrott, to where they would have eliminated Andy Harris's district altogether. So they legally cannot redistrict to get Republicans out now.
Okay.
Yeah, they play dirty games here. And
okay, so
we got a one-party state here.
I know.
So, well, mostly, I mean, you had Hogan, but does that count? Does that actually count? So you know, there's the eye roll. But so this is a kind of a three-part question, I guess. If I heard you correctly, you have no part of Baltimore?
None whatsoever.
So did they draw that out because didn't Kim Klacik run for that seat? And
yeah, well, she ran, and when they redistricted, I'm trying to think of this congressman who was there. He was there for like not Steny Hoyer. Is the other old guys. These guys were all like damn near 80 years old.
Steny's hanging it up, I think.
Yeah, he said that last time. But
phoning it in.
Yeah, Kim is a great human being. She's a personal friend, and she ran in District 2 last time, and she did okay, but her opponent was flooded with money from the Democrat Party. And there's only so much you can do. And Kim's on the radio on WCBM. She's a wonderful young lady, and we're good friends. But, when they redistricted, they threw the Republican Party for a loop. So we had to all kind of recover. And in my case, I'm sitting here in Elk Ridge, Maryland, and I'm driving up to, if you know Maryland, way up to Manchester to give speeches and things like that. Man, it took a toll on my health. But, we recovered now. It is all good.
Okay.
So a question down in the...
Well, hold on. Let me, because there was kind of a.
You want to finish roasting him right now? Just grilling him.
He wanted a three-part question because he's freaking greedy.
1, 2, 3.
I'm actually making a point. Finish your shopping, Beard.
I'm already done.
So, what is and this is critical. what is the racial makeup of the district?
If I'm not mistaken, and Tony, correct me all wrong, he knows more demographics than I do, but I think in this particular district is like 30% blacks, and there's a good percentage of Asians, Koreans, Chinese, Japanese. A lot of these people work here, and I will tell you that the Asian community, and also Indians, there's more Indians here than any of those other demographics, and these people are all family people. And our strategy is to get those people on board and let them know that there's somebody out here fighting for them.
Well, the reason I asked those questions is because those communities, basically that you listed, are fully on board with the cleaning up crime that Donald Trump is doing in Washington, D.C. right now and everywhere else. So that's an inroad, in my opinion, to get those demographics and say, look, I'm all for this. You know what I mean?
So
I agree totally.
So for me, I was going to say that when you brought those up, because even all the way back when I was in Maryland, the Asian community, mainly Vietnamese and Korean at the time, was huge. How do they traditionally turn out to vote in Maryland?
Not so well, in my opinion. And Tony, jump on in here, but we're trying to change that. Matter of fact, Tony and I were just together yesterday, and there's an Indian cultural festival coming up, and we're trying to hit all the festivals of all the ethnicities and let them know that they have some choice. And, our opponent, if we get through the primary, Sarah Elfreth, I mean, she's your classic liberal. She's more concerned with Ukraine and sending money over to, continue that fight over there. I'm America first. I'm about keeping our money and our resources here and making sure grandma can go to the store at midnight and not be bothered.
Awesome.
Bernie, you're right with the Asian population. The Asian population doesn't really like to come out to vote.
No,
so what we're really going to be focusing on with them is we are going to do the mail-in ballots and do the ballot harvesting because that's legal in the state of Maryland.
Because you touch on the key demographics that they want, right? They're strong in community, they're strong in business, they're strong in family, they're strong in crime, and they're or against crime. So, I mean, the platform in and of itself, if you can get out and get it to resonate, is a platform that they would vote for if you can get them out to vote.
We're working on it, and I understand exactly what you're saying, and Tony is on it, and I'm just going to get out there and fight the good fight for family people.
So with that said, obviously you have a strong message, a message that I think can resonate with a lot of folks here. It's a tough district. How are you going to get your message across? What is the strategy to be able to resonate with some of these folks?
Hold on, Bernie, before you answer that, I want to clarify. These guys are generally in politics also, so they know what you're talking about. I'd like you to get a little bit not into the weeds with it, but make it so that it's easy to digest for those down in the comments who don't know much about politics and aren't in the political world. If you would, please. Okay. Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off there, but I wanted to make sure it made more sense.
I was getting all deep. It was my fault.
Yeah.
I drove it.
Yeah.
No, it's cool. First of all, we got to win the primary. That's the thing. Last time, and I will admit, in my opinion, and Tony, stop me from saying anything that I'll regret. But
all right, you stop me.
So here it is. I'm going into all the clubs, the Republican political clubs. Everybody knows me from Washington County to the water. I wrote a book, Black Values Matter. And a lot of people really liked that. I sold about 1,000 copies of it. I had been on the radio. I'm frequently on Newsmax. Someone decided from the Uniparty that they didn't like my politics and I wasn't good. I wasn't going to be good for their wallet. And they put in what I like to call 9 garbage candidates. And these people all, if you look at the final, and I don't want to come off as whiny but it is the truth. They all came up with about the same number of votes, about 1,800 apiece. If I had gotten pretty much, if a couple of those people weren't in the race, I would have won the primary. But again, I am not the quote unquote favorite son because I actually believe in family, and I'm kind of a conservative. Well, I'm very much a conservative. So with that said, what are we going to do next? We're going to do the same thing. Some very senior Republican fathers in this area basically called me up the day before the election, or whether the primary election, and basically said, "Hey, you won.
That's
We're
not
going to
his
flood
style.
you full of money."
Good, Bernie. I'm talking to the people in the comments. Just keep on going. Ignore me.
Oh, okay. Well, the thing is, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, the day before the primary, it was a Tuesday. I'm sitting here with some of my campaign team in my very house. I don't know if you guys are familiar with information operations, but there's such a thing as called a denial of service attack, where they shut down your ability to communicate. The only people that can do a denial of service attack is a 3-letter agency or somebody with a shitload of money. My phone, I was unable to make phone calls. I was unable to make text messages. I was unable to command and control my team. So we were blind for about a week. This stayed on my phone for the better part of 2 weeks. So somebody went to a lot of trouble to keep me from communicating with my team. I kind of try to keep that to myself, but hey, it's about time to let this thing all hang out. Enoch, I told you that
I think many of us here, before you go there, many of us here understand 100%. We've had Jeremy Majewski here who was in Ohio running for his district in Ohio, and they had all kinds of lawfare against him too. This is not something new to us. We're not the people who are jaded by it, saying, "Oh, it's a conspiracy and shit," because we see it. We've seen it firsthand. Yes. And when you're saying, "Hey, this is happening," we understand. And you've got guys down there in the comments right now who are throwing technical terms for what had happened. Yes, guys, it's exactly what he's talking about. Shut up, Trex.
And I say this from a guy who has a background in cybersecurity. All this stuff you see back on the wall and stuff, all this comes from 3-letter agencies in my time in the military. I got shit up on the wall that you'd have to be pretty old school to understand. But the issue of the day is I grew up in that business, and I know what it can be done. I don't want to get too deep into it, but I know when I've been played. Now, somebody decided to put in a bunch of candidates against me, and we fully expected to win. So with that said, I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. The IRS came after me. I have never been late on my taxes ever. I take a lot of pride in paying my taxes on time, but all of a sudden, it looked
Bernie,
like,
to be fair,
Mr. Flowers.
Bernie, to be fair though, having the IRS come for you is nothing new. I get audited every year. Nobody really cares, and I don't think anybody here would say, "Oh, we need to see his tax return."
No, there was a huge uptick under Obama and Biden.
Yeah, so it's
lawfare.
it's very, very common, and I don't believe that would be anything for anybody to be upset about. As far as your constituents go, we've all seen this. Everybody in the comments has seen it.
But here's the thing: if we don't straighten out our government, and thank God for Trump, because a lot of this stuff is being cleaned up. But during the Biden administration, we didn't have any rights. These people were just pretty much running wild, and there are still people from the January 6th event. There's a lady in Colorado that's still in jail, and so it's all coming together now. But at first, I just realized that I just can't stand this to be this will not stand with me. And if I just let this go, I will regret it the rest of my life. So here we are.
I don't want to be screamed at like Ed was, so I'd like to talk to Tony offline about some technical, professional stuff that I have questions about, or maybe some advice. So let's connect.
You can ask the questions. I was just trying to get it so digestible. I mean, we all know my audience is a little slow sometimes.
I don't believe that at all.
Well, but it's not.
I believe it. I believe it.
Some of this talk is not good for ratings. It's fine. We want to talk to Bernie and find out who he is, not about what his campaign manager is doing behind the scenes.
To caveat off of who you are. Yeah, to caveat off of who you are. Where do you stand on 2A? Where do you stand on?
I got several weapons right off camera. So I'm a big fan of guns and defending yourself. And I got about 5,000 rounds of ammunition, probably about 6 feet away from me. So it's locked up. It's in the closet. So it's safe.
Hey,
but
it's
yeah,
your
I'm
house.
a big
You do what you
GA
want
fan.
there. It's your house. You do what you
There
want.
you go.
Do you support any red flag laws or anything like red flag laws?
Red flag, please explain.
So red flag laws are laws that are intended to red flag people from being able to purchase weapons, like mental health that's been in their past, domestic violence, stuff like that.
The Constitution gives us the ability to defend ourselves against tyranny. Once the guns are taken away, we become a communist nation. And unless a person is a felon, they shouldn't, restrict anyone's ability to have a weapon or be able to defend themselves.
I got to do it. I got to do
it. You also could have
telling you the truth, brother.
You can explain red flag laws this way. If they existed, we would all be tagged with red flags. That's what it would come down
to.
Yeah.
For sure.
There you go. Everybody I know has got weapons.
As they should. Here's
a question I have for you. If you could, so you win, you're in Congress. What is the first bill that you would like to actually introduce? What would that be?
Okay, there is an initiative in Congress called the National Infrastructure Bank, and I know you're like, hey, what in the hell is that? But here's the deal. Imagine if you could, as a municipality, get a low interest loan and take that low interest 1% loan and fix some of your infrastructure, or build a hospital for the mentally ill, or help pay some of the teachers without all the drag. I mean, the bottom line is this has been done before. The Works Progress Administration, Tennessee Valley Authority, all that stuff during FDR's time. Well, it wasn't all bad. A lot of it was good, and low interest loans from the government where you're not making a whole lot of money off of things could be something that could fix Baltimore, that could fix some of the inner city. I mean, here it is. Look at the bridge that just went out. How come it's not fixed yet? Wes Moore's over here worrying about running for Congress when he should fix our damn bridge. So my issue is this thing is, and you can look it up. I appreciate it, brother. HR 4052, HR House Bill 490, and HR House Resolution 3360. I know I went fast on those things, but the bottom line is there's a lot of things here in Maryland that could be fixed. And we, the bank should not be making huge interest off of infrastructure projects. And on top of that, you've got all these federal people that are looking for work. Well, let's not have them looking for work. Let's put them to work building bridges, put them to work, building hospitals, put them to work taking care of the homeless, that sort of thing. Or put them to work for ICE and send some of these people on back where they come from.
Fuck. Did you guys feel that? Brother, that was fucking awesome.
Well, I appreciate it, man. Let me tell you something. My last job in the federal government was as a senior advisor to Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. You know who he is. Right. I had to stand by and literally help these people at DHS bring in 18,000 Haitians. That 85,000 Afghans, I was part of that when we brought those people over, and we lied to the American people and told them that they were vetted. There's no possible way we could brought all those people over from Afghanistan and make sure that they had language training and they were shot. Oh, by the way, a lot of those people didn't take the shots. Now, they were taking American people and saying, you got to take this COVID shot, but we didn't give COVID shots to those people. We gave it to some of them, but here's the thing. The majority of people at DHS were working from home. So we couldn't have administered those shots. Yeah. And I'm sitting here with my combat knife thinking, if I could just figure out a way to get it into this building, I could do everybody a favor. But for the grace of God, go I did not. But the issue of the day is we were wasting money hand over fist. Do the math. 85,000 times $1,400 per person. That's somewhere about $119 million a day. And that's what I was helping to sign off on. And then at the end of the day, after I've done all this dirt that I felt dirty about, then Northcom's calling me up saying, hey, so have you taken the jab yet? Yeah. And so like I said, it was just too much. We've got to get our government under control. I'm so thankful that Mr. Trump has won and is in charge. Let's clean this thing up. And yes, there is a deep state.
So yeah, speaking of your former boss, has anybody seen him since January 20th?
Oh, where is he's been hiding out.
He's gone, man.
Oh yeah, he's laying low.
All right, so I've got a question that came out earlier. The question that came out earlier in the comments was, how do you feel about the racial conflict in the country? Do you support helping the Black community more than anybody else? This is a question, obviously, because you're a big, beautiful Black man. So that's why we're asking.
Here's the thing. I love who I am, but I do not believe in reparations. If I can make it out of tobacco fields in North Carolina, then anybody can make it. I should be standing in front of the Robeson County magistrate explaining why I'm late on my child support for my 2 illegitimate children. But there, before the grace of God, go I. So the bottom line is all this racial stuff. Well, Obama was supposed to be the post-racial president. All he did was stir shit up. You know, we're supposed to be the great melting pot. And I'll tell you that my grandchildren, I have a 4-year-old granddaughter and a brand new 4-year-old grandson. And you know what you would call them? Is biracial. My son-in-law is white. My daughter is Black, obviously. And I love my grandchildren. And anybody that is, you know, trying to push this race thing is going to have a problem with me. I can tell you about my battle buddy, Vince Crabb, tall Texan from Waco, Texas. That man put more men in the ground than you can shake a stick at. And anybody fucks with, excuse my language, 20 years have passed. And me and him talk damn near every day. And I trust that man with my life. And we've been through so much together. We've been shot at. We've been in RPG attacks, you name it, we've been there. But the issue is he's white as anybody. And he knows me better than anyone, almost as well as my wife. So I got a real problem with all this racial division, and I'm trying to make it stop. If that makes any sense.
It makes plenty of sense. We appreciate that. Do you believe in investing? Yeah, go ahead. Say whatever you want. You can tell me go fuck myself if you want. It's all good.
I would not do that.
I would.
I was up at the Gettysburg battlefield last month. Some of my relatives were here and I wanted them to see it. And some of them are big fans of reparations. And I asked them, are those 4,000 dead white boys out there? So who's paying them reparations? And the car went quiet. So that's how I feel about it. I'm America first. You know, all this stuff that happened in the past, we got to put that stuff away. And oh, by the way, Robert Byrd, you know, the Democrat congressman who was a Klansman.
The Grand Wizard.
There you go. So the Democrats have bamboozled America somehow, and we got to get that word out. But it was the Republicans that were the party that was trying to break up slavery, and they were the party that literally went to war on behalf of keeping this country together. And so, like I said, I'm not a big fan of reparations, and I'm certainly not a big fan of Obama.
Well, I appreciate that.
So,
to your point, we are a melting pot, and Obama turned us into a salad bar. That's what happened.
I have no use for that man. He has done nothing but made us angry and divided against each other. And you know, smart people like us have got to bring this thing back together. Otherwise, it's going to be bad.
Well, you won me in the opening statement when you talked about how Obama permanized. I don't even know the word I'm looking for. He made his people GS employees and then raised them up to where you could never get rid of them. And that's what fought against Trump in his first term for 4 years, were those same people that he planted in there. It was an excellent point.
You know, well, I appreciate you saying that, and I mean it. I mean, I was in a position over at Fort Meade where a bunch of old heads got together and we tried, when Steve Bannon was his chief of staff, and we tried to let the administration know what they had gotten themselves into. they kind of, stonewalled us, but we've been trying. So now Trump comes in, he understands what he's up against, and he's tearing ass. He is just doing the thing, and I'm so proud of him.
Another question we got from the comments is, do you believe in investing in science?
Of course I do. Real science. I'm a big fan of RFK Jr. and what he's doing is extraordinary. And, getting rid of, this big pharma monopoly that they have there is exactly what we need to do. And I would love to see a lot of other things happen, but, you can't do it all in one day. But yes, I believe in science.
Excellent. Excellent. Xavier, I saw your message. I don't have anything else. If anybody's got anything, good, Ed.
So, today at the press conference, President Trump was talking about potentially putting an emergency housing executive order. Where do you stand? Obviously, housing is getting more and more difficult for folks to achieve that dream. What do you believe that you can do as a congressman to make it that path to make the American dream a little bit more palatable and easier?
Great question.
Well, first of all, I'm a big Trump fan. I don't agree with everything he does, but about 95%. I haven't seen anything that he said that I have a hard problem with. But as far as housing, first of all, if you notice that he's breaking up all this Section 8 stuff. Section 8 is not designed to be a permanent program. It's supposed to be a temporary thing to get people on their feet. And, giving people something, people become complacent when you do that. So back to this national infrastructure bill. I mean, I look around at some of the young people in their 20s. Let's just say you graduate from high school, you want to go get married, you marry your high school sweetheart, you get a job. Now you can't afford for a family of 4 or a family of 5 to operate on one paycheck. We've got to fix that. And I say this because BlackRock, our enemy, they want us to be all renters. They don't want to have people experience the American dream of home ownership. So what am I going to do about that? Like I said, I'd love to see this national infrastructure bill. People should be able to have low interest loans for necessities like housing. I mean, do you realize, if I'm not mistaken, I'm kind of on my soapbox right now, but the usury which is the charging of interest for a loan, was illegal up until the 1800s and among religious people. And I don't want to start throwing any flags at anybody or anything like that, but this idea of banks just overly capitalizing on people and charging, exorbitant interest. When you're talking about something like a house or a necessity, somebody should be able to get like a 1% loan, and if you remember the Biden administration, bless his heart, he
just came out
a lot. Yeah, he sold a lot of wolf tickets, man, and he lied to the entire generation of millennials and people below that. I forget what they're called, but the issue of the day is we've got to do something about being able to provide the American dream for young people and as many people as want a house as possible, but also folks got to work. And so my solution is this national infrastructure bill, and several congressmen, especially Republican congressmen, have already signed up to support it. So it's nothing new. So I'd love to see that happen.
Well, it dances around opportunity zones, is what I'm hearing, like what Tim Scott and Trump did in his first term, where they did opportunity zones. You mean expand that and to help more people than even the first time around?
There you go.
So to get more of where you stand for your ideology and where you stand for support of the Republicans or conservatives, the question that stands here is what do you think about the National Guard being sent to Chicago? Because we understand that DC is a federal area.
I'm all for it. I'm all for
fucking
it.
Man. I'm man.
Dude, if I'm not mistaken, a gang of people got killed in Chicago this past weekend. There must have been, several, 30 or 40. And this dumbass mayor over there doesn't seem to care. All he cares about is Kilmar, Abrego, Garcia, and people like that.
It was actually a lot more than that. It was 58. 58 shot at, and then 8 passed away.
You're good on your news, brother. The issue of the day is American citizens deserve the right to be safe in their own domicile. They deserve the right to be safe in their neighborhood. They deserve the right to be able to conduct commerce, the pursuit of happiness, that sort of thing. And so we've got the capability to make that happen. We just have to have the will, and Trump has the will. So I'm thrilled at what they did in DC, especially in Anacostia. Bring it to Baltimore, bring it to Chicago, bring it to New York, bring it to Atlanta. Hey, people want to live a safe, normal life. And if we let these criminals run wild, we will regret it. So I know I gave a long answer to a short question.
No, that's good. I get people asking you to do a USA tour, just run for president.
But I have so what about, okay, so we say that all sounds great, and it's a great political response in order to get the likes and clicks and views. But what about the legality, right? Because we do have a process within this country as far as the governor and the mayor, and they've made it very clear that they're going to block it. So at what threshold do you think the Trump administration should be able to then mobilize the National Guard, right?
I'm not going there, Wolfie.
No, let me answer, if I may.
No, I was talking to somebody in the comments.
Oh, that's okay, brother. It's okay. Yeah. So when I was at Fort Meade, part of my portfolio was called Defense Support of Civil Authorities. My job was to help the local civil authorities, wherever they be, get access to federal resources, as in DOD. Okay, like Katrina. If you notice, they were rolling out the 82nd Airborne and paratroopers and people like that. Okay, if you look, 1959, if I'm not mistaken, Eisenhower was president. The governor of Arkansas decided that he didn't want Black students to go into the local high school. He didn't want integration. Eisenhower, a Republican, decided to federalize not only the National Guard, but the 101st Airborne. Next thing you know, those same soldiers were escorting those 9 kids into high school and integrating that high school. So what I'm trying to tell you is the Insurrection Act, and also Posse Comitatus, all those things, the president has broad authority to protect the people of the United States. So when it comes down to that, you challenge the legal authority, Trump's going to win every damn time. Bottom line, this is proven.
Well, and there's so
legality.
much they can do. There's so much they can do without getting into law enforcement, actual law enforcement activities. They can support law enforcement, exactly like you just said. They did the same thing with George Wallace in Alabama.
Yep, exactly. So this isn't a new question. Wes Moore's just telling a bunch of fibs and wolf tickets. Bottom line is they're making a lot of money.
When you say wolf tickets, I don't know what that means.
Lying.
Yeah.
Backwoods, North Carolina. That's just plain old lying.
Yeah. MAGA Meathead, yes, he does. He's an anthropologist. He knows all about that stuff. And I'm not talking about you, Bernie. I'm talking about somebody in the comments. There's an anthropologist down there in the comments who's referring to the use of children in fields. And he's talking about.
Oh yeah. There's a lot of money made from keeping people poor, and we got to stop this.
So one question I got down there a lot was, what do you think of the VA? And what I know you have no direct power there, but what would you do with your influence with the VA?
I can't beat them up too badly. I'm 80% disabled, and I get a nice check. I'd love to be 100% disabled, but that's another story for another time. I probably would have had to give up an arm to do that. But the VA has gotten a lot better. Trump specialized in his first term on making things better. He did a lot of purges among the senior leadership there, and now he's come in for his second term. So he's got them on the run. If I'm not mistaken, Secretary Collins out of Georgia, he's making a lot of positive things happen. So I would just try to support the president and Secretary Collins as much as I possibly could. The VA is getting better. It's a tough job. Now, here's one thing that comes to me. A lot of people that work for VA are not retired or former soldiers. And I would do everything I possibly could to make their hiring actions retroactive. So you want to bring in as many soldiers and spouses as you possibly can, because if you haven't
people who have skin in the game,
we've been through, there you go.
Yeah, people have skin in the game. People have to experience it daily, normally.
Yeah.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Yeah. So that would be my thing.
All right. I'm going to ask Tony a question now. Tony, what do you think Bernie's biggest highlight is?
His biggest highlights, are we talking about his political career or his
whatever the fuck you want to say? What do you think his biggest highlight is? And talking to the microphone.
Yeah, you got my background noise.
He's asking, why are you on board?
Yeah, why are you backing him up so strong?
Well, I mean, so Bernie and I have actually known each other for a few years now. So on my first campaign, I was actually interning for county executive here in Howard County. That's when we met. So I can't remember. Were you part of the Central Committee then, Bernie?
I was Central Committee adjacent, put it that way. We were just kind of hanging and trying to do positive things, man.
Yeah, so I didn't know any of Bernie's acolytes when I first met him or anything. Yeah, what happened was that we basically just were kindred spirits, and we just connected. Now, looking at his past attempt of running for Congress, we both agreed that there are things that we need to go ahead and highlight on a lot more. We are going to highlight on him being a retired lieutenant colonel and being in the DOD. Yeah. So what we're end up doing is that every single time we're giving addresses and everything, we're going to be, going ahead and going like, well, this is where some of the corruption is. We're going to tell you guys about it.
No, I appreciate that. Go ahead, Ed. If you got it, launch it.
All right. So here's a question. So many of these citizen politicians go into Congress with such a wonderful heart, and then they start playing the stock market and become massive millionaires. So do you believe that congressional individuals should continue to trade and become as rich as Pelosi?
No, I don't. I believe in term limits. Anybody that's been in office as long as she has should be turned out. I mean, as far as Congress is concerned, you have 2-year terms. I would say maybe 3 terms, maybe 12 years. That's it. If you're a senator, 2 terms, that gives you 2, 6-year terms. So that gives you 12 years. And that's it. You're not supposed to go there and make yourself rich. And the majority of people in Congress, I mean, Jasmine Crockett's worth like $25 million. AOC is worth 30. They hadn't been in office that long. What have they been doing? Nancy Pelosi is worth $300 million.
It just broke today that Elon Omar is now worth 30 mil.
They bid on it, but they shut me down. So her financial disclosure of last year, and then her own statements 2 months ago, where she was questioned about being a millionaire, and she said that it was absolutely false and ridiculous. And then her financial disclosures of now show that her and her husband's net wealth is about $30 million.
$30 million.
Yeah.
You mean her brother?
Well, that's what I said.
Excuse me.
No, actually, this
that
is
represents
a different. This is a different guy. She married her. She married her political consultant. Ooh. That's the guy she's married to now.
Yeah, well, all I said at the end of the video, I said either she's looking in the mirror when she says that we're corrupt, or she was talking to her brother husband.
Why doesn't she go back to where she came from? How about that? I mean, how did all these Somalis end up in Minnesota all at once? Mr. Obama surely had something to do with that.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus. I fucking love this
guy. He did.
I fucking love this guy. All right. We've got about 9 minutes left, Bernie. I want to give you the floor to hit your biggest points that you would like to put out, that you want people to know about you and your message. This is for you. You advertise your book. Tell people one more time what the title of your book is.
people are starting to follow him again. And I don't think that black women are ever going to get off that government tit, but there's a lot of angry black men that see that they've been following things the wrong way. And if you notice, we got must have been 20, maybe even 30% of black people to vote for Trump. You got a lot of black Trump supporters. I happen to be one of them. So the issue of the day is if we can divide that vote, and then we can get the Asians with us and the conservative Caucasians, we can win this thing. We can shock the world.
You heard that, white people, right? White people vote for him.
Well, could I tell you, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier with the crime thing in DC, is that I'm actually seeing, this is my personal observation, now I'm seeing more black women come on board because it's a safety and security issue. It's clean up my town and make it safe. And so I think that's an end for, for everybody.
We can use that question. Do you have any political aspirations beyond Congress?
I'm too old, dude. I just turned 60. I made a promise to the Creator years ago that I would do whatever he asked me to do. And I'm in the desert with my buddy Vince, and we had been through some shit. And I'm like, okay, you got to come clean. I thought I was going to meet my maker. And that's where I made my mistake. And he's holding me to it. And that's why I'm over here I spent $90,000 on this last thing, the last campaign. I'm driving a 17-year-old Tahoe because, I'd saved up money to buy myself a new truck. But the issue of the day is that this is more important. And bottom line is that, we just got to do what's right. That's what I'm trying to do. But as far as political aspirations in the future, dude, let me get into Congress, get rid of these damn Democrats, and then fix some things. And then I'm going to retire into the sunset.
Hopefully with a retirement.
Let's hope they don't come after me again like they did last time.
Just so you know, it's not true. Once you get elected to Congress, you don't get lifetime health care and lifetime payments. You should know that. That's not a thing.
Well, that ain't what I'm after. Dude, I'm retired from the military, and I'm a retired civil servant. Uncle Sam's been real good to me. But for me to sit around on my ass and do nothing at this age, that's not my way. We were taught better than that, right, Enoch?
100%. 100%.
There you go. So man, I'm in for the win.
Excellent.
I'm excited for you. I think a lot of people down there in the comments are excited. You've already sold a bunch of books from what I saw down in the comments. So I'm guessing we're hoping it helps. Do you have a donation link Tony can put in that we can share or put out there to help you?
Not yet. We're working on that now. That's the thing we're doing this week. And to tell you the truth, Tony and I had decided that we weren't going to say officially that we were running, but I kind of let it out of my big mouth. So what I got to do is get our bank account set up and all the other stuff. And we'll be on WinRed and Anadot pretty soon, probably by the end of the month. Because, people, there's a lot of little things that have to be done. And we just want to make sure everything's right. So you'll hear more from us. And hopefully you'll have me back on at some point.
I'd be glad to have you back on.
He's got to jump through a whole bunch of FEC hoops before he can take a donation. That's what he just said.
I understand.
And when he announced that earlier, he made Tony's life a lot harder in the next couple of weeks.
I literally saw Tony's butthole pucker all the way down. I saw that.
There you go.
But it was funny. It was good.
Well, he gives as good as he gets. He walks around with a pitchfork, and when I slow down, he stabs me. So don't feel bad for him.
Very nice. Nice to meet you, man.
Brother,
everybody, this is Mr. Berney Flowers, guys. He's running for Congress in District 2?
3.
In Maryland?
District 3.
District 3. Yeah. District 3 in Maryland.
That's what threw us. That's what threw me off. I was looking up 2, the current 2.
Yeah.
So he's going to District 3 in Maryland.
They just changed the districts not long ago. So that's how the Democrats keep us off. They're talking about redistricting again. But again, we talked about they're not going to be able to do this because Trump's on that ass. So there we go. We just want a fair fight.
So while we have Bernie here, I wanted to thank the people that have come up here. Obviously, Common, Ed, Tony, Beard, and Mr. Flowers. But also I want to give a shout out to Suze and Mindful Conservative down there in the comments who helped out doing the research to find out if we could find anything dirty on Bernie. And we did. We scoured the internet. We had AI going. There was nothing really of note to talk shit about Bernie. So I want to say thank you for being a decent individual, Bernie. Thank you for your service. Thank you for being here and doing the show with us. Now I'm going to kick you out of here. I'm going to talk all kinds of shit about you.
That's okay. That's okay.
I mean, you've heard the show. You know how it goes. Originally, you start to debauchery and be silly. But
hey, man.
Also, thank you to everybody who's launching questions down here, down in the comments. Thank you for supporting. I really, really appreciate it.
Soldier humor is a good thing, man. I love it.
Thank you.
All right. I don't know how to sign out of this thing.
I'll kick you out. I'll kick you out. Don't worry about it. I'll deport your ass. Don't worry. We're going to send you out.
Cool.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Oh. Tony, you have a great fucking candidate, especially the way he talks. He's like a real normal person. That's awesome. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome.
That we need to work with when he's talking, but that's about it. I told him that I want him to show some emotion, but not too much. But we're going to be working on that. So,
yeah, awesome. If you have anything you need to send me, you know where to send it at. I know we've been talking already while we're doing this, but I got another thing I need to send you as well.
I'm gonna DM you, Tony. We should connect by phone.
Yes, you guys definitely should, Tony.
Yeah. Once we have everything set up, I will let Enoch know, and it will be in the Discord for everyone as well. We're getting everything ready, everything set up this week. Hopefully, we'll have everything done. Hopefully by the 15th. So.
Yeah, he needs to be work. 100%. We'll talk about that.
I like your attitude.
If you get a chance tomorrow, Tony, I'd like to get in that Discord call with you with the other people that are watching and have a conversation about it.
Yeah, sure.
All right, man. All right, Tony, get the hell out of here. We're gonna talk some shit now. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Tony. You're awesome. Well,
almost yelled at Colin.
Love.
You need to do more lives. Me, Virgo?
What'd you say?
I said I almost